I want to transition to new home construction, Tracy. You've been doing a lot of work in this area, and there's been a lot of press about new construction and that, it's difficult to build and that the time frames for building are slow and stuff. And, we all kind of know those supply chain stories that are out there and the challenges there. And that's definitely affected new construction. But Tracy, there's a lot of new construction going on around Albuquerque. And so can you kind of give us a summary of, what's out there? What neighborhoods are open and available right now, and yeah.
Sure. So it's sort of interesting, Tego, because in the last month or so, we have had probably 5 new neighborhoods opened up.
Yep.
Brand new. They just are starting to sell in them from Pulte, DIA Horton, Twilight, other builders. So lots of new neighborhoods. There's a new one called Los DIA Montes.
Yeah.
It's in Rio Rancho, west of Rust Hospital, up on the top of the hill.
Yep.
It's in Unit 10 for those of you, but the legal description. But it's, very near South Rio Rancho, just west of the hospital.
Yep.
That neighborhood is just opening up. There's a couple builders in that neighborhood. There's some, the Hock site, out by the National Guard Armory.
Yep.
There's a lot of new homes there.
Mountain Hawk. It's called Mountain Hawk.
Mountain
it's not
Hawk.
called Hawk Site anymore.
Yeah, Mountain Hawk. Sorry.
Showing our but yeah, no, yeah. So Los DIA Montes is a big deal for Rio Rancho. I mean, that's a large, I'd call it master plan community. It's
Totally.
one of the first we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's a nice south, Rio Rancho location. I'm going to say southwest Rio Rancho location.
Right.
And so yeah, it's starting. They're starting to build.
And there's another one coming at the Trails, which is Volcano Vista High School on the west side.
Yep.
Catalonia at the Trails.
Okay.
We know Hakes Brothers is at that location,
Yep.
building beautiful homes. D.R. Horton, Pulte. Lot of new neighborhoods coming, and from inspiration in Northwest Albuquerque to the Peaks to Montecito area, the whole petroglyph area. There's several new neighborhoods going in by Pulte, D.R. Horton. Very exciting. So what's real interesting too is prices.
Yeah.
So prices are up. The new home construction now, you're starting more in the 3s. I don't think in the metro area there's a house in the 200,000s now, new construction. Ameriston Homes, another builder, this name who you might not have heard. Ameriston's been around now just a couple of years. They're building in a variety of areas, and we talked to the rep there. I did the other day because we have a client buying 2 houses, and or 2 clients buying houses, and they're building all over the metro area now. They have a lot of lots. I think they said like 2,000 lots over the next couple of years that they'll be able to build on, from Los Lunas to the valley to the west side to Rio Rancho. So a lot of new homes. But what's interesting, I think a lot of people don't know that as realtors we can represent you with new home construction. And whether it's custom home or Pulte or D.R. Horton or Twilight Homes or Hakes Brothers. So what I have the honor today of showing new construction. So I'm really excited because I just love going and seeing our partners at the new home builders locations and seeing their homes. I haven't been to some of these new neighborhoods yet, so it'll be interesting to see as they're coming out of the ground. But, we can show you all of the different builders. Sometimes people go for a Sunday drive and they see one new home neighborhood and they follow the signs, and they don't realize that maybe a half a mile down the road there's another builder that they could also look at to compare and make sure they picked the right neighborhood.
Well, in another part of town too. And so Tracy, where looking around, where do we see a lot of the new construction in the Albuquerque area happening right now?
Sure. So we've got a lot going on in Los Lunas. Several builders. Mesa del Sol has a few builders, so that's just south of the airport. Great location for people that work downtown, the hospitals, UNM, maybe even in Los Lunas. And then there's Volterra, and Volterra has some homes still available. Volterra is right next to the Air Force Base, between Kirtland Air Force Base and Fort Hills, on the very south end of Juan Tabo.
Yep.
Those are some of the main areas that direction. Then, of course, we have Northwest Albuquerque and Rio Rancho, and those are where we have most of the land. As our listeners know, we are a metro area landlocked in 3 areas.
Pretty landlocked on the north and the
east. And
for
the south.
sure. A little bit on the south, but we've got Mesa del Sol in the south, let's say.
Right, but we have the the Isleta Pueblo on the south, and
right.
we have Sandia, Santa Ana to the north, and we have a mountain to the east.
Yep.
We do have land to the west, but to
A
develop
lot of land
it,
to the west.
Yeah.
Lots of land to the west. Yeah.
Yeah, but somebody has to assemble it, figure
sure.
out utilities, and so that's sort of the constraints. And it's exciting because we do have a lot of new homes that are in the works, but right now most buyers would need to be patient because not a lot of them are sitting on the ground done, ready to be bought and moved into in a month.
Yeah, and if nobody's ever been in the new construction world, you'll hear the term, well, it's a spec home, or it's pre-sold, or
It's
different
to be
terms,
built.
to be built, different terms like that. And a spec home would be where the builder basically invests in building the home and then having it finished and put it on the market. We don't see very many of those right now.
Used to see a lot, especially with DR Horton, and now they're building them, but they're still just most of them December, January, February for DR Horton to be completed, where they've actually picked out all the finishes and the floor plan and just started building it.
So there's some in the pipeline, just not a lot, not
Right.
as much as we used to. What are you hearing builders quoting for build times? Again, we're talking production builders here, not custom, but the production type builders.
Yeah, varying a lot, and they don't usually like to give you a solid number because if you're buying a house, they want to make sure that they can account for construction delays.
Yeah, all their materials are sitting on a ship in Long Beach Harbor.
So most of them are quoting between 8 and 12 months. We have some folks who put a house under contract about 30 days ago. And they were quoted May or June for a completion date.
Yeah.
But that was a house that had already been spec'd on a lot, just not broken ground yet. They already had the permit. They'd already picked all the finishes and the floor plan and the lot. So it's May or June of next year.
So new construction's a great option for folks, and you're basically buying it at today's price. You're locking in your price for the future, and then you just have to be patient.
Yeah, and just a side note that made me think of it is we have a guaranteed sale program. So if you have a house you need to sell to be able to buy new construction, we can guarantee that your house will be sold so you can close on your new construction maybe 8 or 12 months from now. And a lot of the builders that we work with will allow you to move forward and have a house built knowing that we're in the background guaranteeing that your house will be sold that you currently own.
Yeah.
So